Sorority Hill got a little spooky.
And a few tips on how to stay safe this Halloween weekend. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network at Troy, Alabama's International University, this is TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for October 30th, 2015. I'm Courtney Chandler.
And I'm Sarah Singletary. Thank you for joining us this evening. Sorority Hill turned into Scarority Hill last night at the annual Haunted Hill event. Princesses, superheroes, and an assortment of animals from the community swarmed the hill for the night of pre-Halloween fun. Deborah Bogart was at the event.
Princesses, farmers, evil clowns, and pineapples have taken over Sorority Hill. That's right, Thursday night was the annual event Haunted Hill. Every October, children of Troy University faculty, staff, and students are able to dress up and trick-or-treat.
So tonight, a couple of organizations of Troy are putting on what's called Haunted Hill, and it's just a way for us to give back to the faculty and their kids, and it's free of charge. And as you can see, we have a few games going on.
Yeah, we're handing out candy, or the kids are playing cornhole. We're having fun, playing some games with little kids, and just having a fun time.
Fraternity and sorority members interact with the kids by playing games and giving out candy as the kids travel to the different sorority houses in efforts to fill up their pumpkin. One parent says this interaction with the students is her favorite aspect of Haunted Hill.
It's the interaction with the different sororities and the families in the community.
As for the kids, their favorite part seemed unanimous, the candy.
Get the candy. We get to get our face painted and play games and get candy.
My favorite part was actually having fun and getting all the candy.
Creativity was alive and well tonight as children and Greek organizations got to dress up in costumes. I've seen everything from giraffes to, well, pineapples. When asked what their favorite costume tonight was, the attendees had a variety of answers.
Probably my friend Kimberly. She's dressed as Cusco, and I love the Emperor's New Groove.
Mine is probably the dog that's running around with the lion's mane on.
The thing 1 and thing 2.
I like the pineapples.
I go as Mickey Mouse.
Probably the Flintstone guy that just walked by because he's shirtless.
I saw an astronaut. He was pretty cute, so I had to say that's my favorite.
Haunted Hill takes place every year the Thursday before Halloween. Deborah Bogart, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy's Greek organizations host Haunted Hill every Halloween season.
Sorority Hill got the Halloween fun started last night, but festivities will carry on into the weekend. People of all ages will dress in their costumes and go trick-or-treating to celebrate Halloween on Saturday. The Troy University Police Department has a few tips on how to stay safe while still enjoying the holiday. Halloween is this Saturday, and the Troy University Police Department wants trick-or-treaters to not only have fun, but be safe this weekend during all the festivities.
It's not a dangerous part of the year per se to go out and do trick-or-treating, but don't approach houses that don't have lights on. That's the key. Most people that are welcoming trick-or-treaters will turn their porch lights on, that kind of thing. So if they don't have porch lights on, don't go to those houses, avoid those places. And just be safe as you're walking along the roadways. That's the biggest thing.
The Troy University Police Department also gave tips on how parents can keep their children safe by putting them in safe costumes and also checking what they receive on Halloween.
One of the things we want to remind them is to wear reflective clothing, wear bright colored clothing that can be seen, because there'll be a lot of traffic on the roadways and kids are going to be running across the streets, and so it's real important that traffic's able to see the kids as they are going out and trick-or-treating. We also want to remind the kids that don't eat any candy until the parents get a chance to look at the candy and inspect it.
McCall also gave tips on how students can stay safe during this Halloween weekend.
Don't drink and drive. Wear your costumes that are safe if you are going to drive. Don't wear a costume that's got some fake hands on it that keep you from handling a steering wheel, or some feet on it, or something to keep you from operating a vehicle properly. So put your costume on when you get to the party. Don't drive with your costume on, that kind of thing. And just don't overdo it on Halloween.
To find out more on how to stay safe during your Halloween weekend, contact the Campus Police Department at 334-670-3415. Well, Sarah, for most Americans have pictures throughout the years documenting Halloween costumes and carry fun memories of trick-or-treating.
That's right, Courtney. But have you ever thought of what international students think of this holiday or how they celebrate it? Haley Greathouse finds out.
Halloween is almost here, and while Americans are planning what to wear and how much candy to get, international students are trying to figure out what exactly American Halloween is.
You dress up as ghosts.
You dress up as whatever.
As whatever. So that evil spirits don't recognize you. That's the gist, right? No?
I think
yeah,
that's the gist, like in the back in the days,
Really?
but now it's just people dress up to have fun and to get candy.
Types of Halloween are celebrated throughout the world, and ISCO and T for Troy came together to educate international and American students about this season.
Today we just discussed the different aspects of, I guess, Halloween around the world, and we got to talk about the different cultures and the different way that each of us represent, I guess, the spooky season that is Halloween.
There were presentations from America, China, Korea, and Mexico. Some students even found connections to their own culture.
I can really relate to what Cesar was telling about, how in the Mexican culture, in the Spanish culture, they kind of want to hang out in a way with people who have passed. We do that too, and it's really interesting to me that people from such different, not only countries, but different continents have similar tradition.
Talking about Halloween may seem like the thing to do this season, but for ISCO and T for Troy, it has a bigger purpose.
But I think that it's imperative for us to know about different cultures, because when you learn about different cultures, you get a different appreciation and a better understanding of that, and through that I think that we can all get along better, and it really just helps us be better people to each other.
Haley Greathouse, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Next week, ISCO will host. Next week, ISCO will meet on Thursday at 7 p.m. in Howe Hall.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Authorities in Fairfield say 3 teenagers are now in custody in the killing of a college student. Police say the crime was likely motivated by robbery. Police say Darius Scott, Daquan Tucker, and Cameron Green, all of Bessemer, face capital murder charges in the killing of Miles College student Keenan Morris of Mobile.
Alabama's largest home is going on the auction block. AL.com reports that an absolute auction is set for tomorrow for the 50,000-foot mansion in suburban Birmingham. The estate is nearly as large as the White House. It's owned by former healthcare executive Larry House.
Also out of Birmingham, Alabama's Teacher of the Year is resigning after being informed she was unqualified to teach 5th grade. Anne-Marie Corgill says in a letter obtained by AL.com that she resigned in confusion about her certification after Birmingham and state officials said she wasn't qualified. She's been teaching in grades 1 through 6 for 21 years.
Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the Trojan football team is on its way to North Carolina for this weekend's matchup against Appalachian State. Ryan Renfro has a preview of the game in today's sports.
And the United States military is pushing boots on the ground in fight against ISIS. More on that after the break. Stay with us.
For the first time, U.S. troops will deploy and operate openly on the ground in Syria. I'm Craig Boswell at the White House. Details coming up.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Swimming for Team USA was a true honor, and I'm proud to represent another great team, MSAA and their fundraiser, Swim for MS. If you love swimming like I do, visit swimforms.org.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
As if climbing up a mountain isn't already hard enough, the Trojan football team left this week for Boone, North Carolina to face off against its next challenge, the Mountaineers of Appalachian State, a team that Coach Brown says has been on fire since their appearance in Troy this time last year. Khadijah Torbert gives us a look at this weekend's matchup and what these Mountaineers bring to the table.
They're one of the hottest teams in the country. I think they're 12-1 over the last 13 games. They came into Troy an underdog last year, sitting at 1-5. And the rest is history. They're 12-1. Their O-line is really solid. Probably the best O-line in our conference. They're balanced. They lead the Sun Belt in about every offensive category. And they create a lot of alignment and matchup issues based on what they do. Defensively, they're number 1 in the country in red zone. You know, and Adam can tell you for sure, I think they've only given up 4 red zone touchdowns, which is unbelievable to me. They play a 3-down system. Everything's based on creating negative play.
Keeping the momentum seems to be the game scheme for this week against Appalachian State. Communication on last week led to the Trojans' high-scoring victory, and that is the Trojans' main focus heading into this weekend.
App State's got a very good defense, and it was great last week to have a great offensive showing. So just keep the momentum going up to this week. Be good for us.
All about communication. We've been emphasizing communication all this week. You have to play together as a whole and just focus.
Taking on Appalachian State will be no easy task for the Trojans, but these players have rehearsed what Coach Brown says constantly, and if you ask them, they are up for the challenge.
We always do. Coach Brown, one thing he'll always say that we hear every week is strain, and basically that's giving an extra effort.
It should be fun, you know. Well, facing guys like that, you know, it's a challenge. It gives you that hunger, desire, and you know, you approaching a great quarterback, you know, that really motivates you to be even better, practice better, and you know, just focus in better each and every week. So you know, I look at it as a challenge, and I'm ready for it.
The Trojans head into the weekend with a 2-5 overall record. Saturday's game will be televised on ESPN3 and kickoff is set for 2:30 p.m. To say the Trojan volleyball team has been busy lately is simply an understatement. Tuesday night's loss against South Alabama in Mobile was the first of 4 matches in the last 6 days. But even with the loss against the Jags, the team has its eyes set on the weekend's opponents. The Trojans are headed out west to the Lone Star State today for a match against UT Arlington tonight at 6:30. And they will turn around on Saturday night for a match against Texas State, a team that defeated the Trojans in Trojan Arena last Thursday night. The Trojans head into the weekend with an even 13-13 record and will play host to Mississippi State on Monday night. Now this week you've heard a lot about madness. A madness set for the Troy basketball program seemed to be a one-night thing for students and Trojan fans to come out and get an early dose of what this year's basketball teams might bring to the court. But it turns out that madness and hype may have captured some attention. The Sun Belt Conference has announced a new basketball television package, its largest package ever for men's and women's basketball. The package features a total of 99 games on ESPN3 and 2 on ESPN2. In this package, there are 4 doubleheaders that feature the Troy men's and women's basketball teams. Troy will first appear on ESPN3 Thursday, January 7th against Georgia State. Doubleheaders against UL Lafayette, Arkansas State, and Appalachian State will also be aired on ESPN3, along with the Sun Belt Championships, while the men's championship game will air on ESPN2. The Trojans will hit the court next Thursday with the women facing off against Stillman at 5:15 p.m. and the men to follow at 7:30 p.m. against Auburn Montgomery.